Today marks 1,000 days since the Ukraine war began. 1,000 days of war, tens of thousands of lives lost and billions of dollars burnt up. This war has cost the world a fortune. We've all paid the price, one way or the other, but some countries have paid far more than everyone else. Countries like the United States of America, they've poured billions into defending Ukraine. Other Western nations have contributed too, but it's America that has kept this war going. And now America wants to stop. Donald Trump is coming back to power. He says that he wants this war to end immediately. So Ukraine and President Volodymyr Zelensky are on a timer. They have till January 20th to do what they can before Trump pulls the plug. They have 2 months. The current US President Joe Biden is firmly in Zelensky's corner, and it seems that Biden is giving Kyiv a parting gift: the permission to conduct long-range strikes, to attack deep inside Russian territory. Biden has finally given the go-ahead so Zelensky can use American ATACM missiles against Russia. They can fire the ATACMs at military bases and airfields located within Russia's borders. Now, this is a massive escalation, and Biden is facing flack for it from the Trump team. Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., has put out this post. It says, and I'm quoting, "The military-industrial complex seems to want to make sure they get World War III going before my father has a chance to create peace and save lives." He says this will lead to World War III, and if it happens, Trump may not be able to stop it. The US has not officially confirmed that it has given the green light. Neither has Ukraine. But Zelensky issued this statement.
Today, there's a lot of talk in the media about us receiving permission for respective actions. But strikes are not carried out with words. Such things are not announced. Missiles will speak for themselves. They certainly will.
That's basically an admission. He has effectively confirmed that he has been given the go-ahead. And reports say that his missiles have already started speaking. Russia says that Ukraine has fired 6 ATACMs. They've reportedly struck an ammunition depot in Russia's Bryansk region. Moscow is furious. The Kremlin issued a warning today. Listen to this.
The Russian Federation reserves the right to use nuclear weapons in the event of aggression using conventional weapons against it or the Republic of Belarus as a member state of the Union state, which creates a critical threat to their sovereignty or territorial integrity. Aggression against the Russian Federation by any non-nuclear state with the participation or support of a nuclear state is considered as their joint attack.
Russia updated its nuclear doctrine today. President Vladimir Putin signed a decree broadening the scope of using nukes. It's a stark warning to Ukraine and the West. That is the situation as of today, 1,000 days into the war. So the next 2 months are critical. Zelensky will push forward. We don't know how Putin will respond, but nukes are definitely on the table. All we know for sure is that Trump is about to inherit a mess that his European allies will try and stop him from cleaning it up.
We have to ramp up the defense industry, and luckily NATO and the EU are working closely together to make sure that the defense industrial base, transatlantic, will be strengthened over the coming months. We really have to do this, to replenish our stockpiles, to make sure that we stand ready to oppose any adversary.
Like Biden, Europe is also trying to Trump-proof the war. They want to ramp up their own defense industry to a point that they can sustain Ukraine's war effort even without American support. Now, this poses a different problem for Trump. He may not be keen to pull out without ending the war, because no matter how justified he may be, Trump will be slammed if he leaves Ukraine to its fate without ending the war. So Europe increasing support to Ukraine could be a ploy, a way to keep Trump tangled. Let's see if it works. By now, some of you may be wondering, why is the West so obsessed with prolonging the war? Why would they escalate it? By allowing Ukraine to strike into Russia. Do they really think that Ukraine can win? Well, probably not on the battlefield, but the West is hoping for a different kind of victory. They want Russia to crumble from within, economically, making the war too costly to sustain. They haven't succeeded yet. Russia's economic growth last year was more than some European countries, but cracks are appearing. There's a cost of living crisis. Inflation in Russia is about 10%. What's worse is the food inflation. Reports like this have begun doing the rounds. The price of butter, meat and onions has risen by 25% over the last year, and 25% food inflation is no joke anywhere in the world. It leads to pain for all sections of society. And it has also led to a rise in theft. So Russian stores are reportedly locking butter up so that people don't steal it. This does point to an economic problem. But will it become a crisis big enough to cripple Russia? We'll have to wait and see. The final countdown is on. Ukraine has 2 months to deal damage. Europe has 2 months to find a way to keep America in the war. And Russia just has to hold on in this time before it walks away with a victory.